We all have moments when we feel the need to react in a certain way, whether it's an emotion like anger, frustration, or disappointment, or a physical response like shouting or hitting something. These reactions can be hard to control, but if we learn to manage our emotions and reactions, we can become more self-aware and gain greater control over our lives. In this video, we'll discuss 8 habits that can help us master self-control and manage our reactions. Welcome to another Tip Daily video. Number 1. Understanding the importance of self-control. Self-control is an essential trait that enables individuals to manage their emotions, impulses, and reactions in various situations. It helps people regulate their behavior, making them less prone to act impulsively or make decisions based on temporary emotions. In today's fast-paced world, where everything happens at a rapid pace, developing self-control is essential. People who have this trait are better equipped to deal with daily stressors and challenges without getting overwhelmed or overreacting. They can manage their thoughts, emotions, and actions, leading to better outcomes in their personal and professional lives. Lack of self-control can lead to various negative outcomes such as poor decision-making, damaged relationships, and impaired mental and physical health. It can also make it challenging to achieve long-term goals, as impulsive behavior can get in the way of taking the necessary steps toward achieving them. Therefore, mastering self-control is a crucial step toward becoming a better version of oneself. It helps individuals take charge of their lives and improve their well-being, relationships, and success in life. In the following sections, we'll explore some common reactions and the habits that can help manage them, leading to better self-control. Number 2. Common reactions and their effects. We've all had moments where we've reacted impulsively without thinking through the consequences of our actions. Maybe it was saying something hurtful to a loved one in the heat of an argument or reacting angrily to a difficult situation at work. But these reactions can have serious consequences. They can damage relationships, lead to regret, and even impact our mental health. That's why mastering self-control and learning how to manage our reactions is so important. Some of the most common reactions that we may struggle with include anger, defensiveness, fear, and anxiety. Each of these reactions can have different effects on our lives and the lives of those around us. For example, reacting in anger can lead to hurt feelings and damaged relationships, while defensiveness can make it difficult to communicate effectively with others. Fear and anxiety can be paralyzing, preventing us from taking risks and pursuing our goals. Learning how to manage these reactions can help us to live happier, healthier, and more fulfilling lives. And by developing good habits, we can build our self-control and become more intentional in our actions and reactions. Number 3. Habit number 1. Taking a pause before reacting. When faced with a challenging situation or conversation, it's natural to have an immediate reaction. This initial reaction can often be intense and unhelpful, leading to a worsening of the situation or a breakdown in communication. One of the best ways to gain control over your reactions is to pause before responding. This allows you to take a step back and consider the situation objectively rather than immediately reacting based on emotion. To practice this habit, try incorporating a short pause into your interactions. When someone says something that triggers a strong emotional response, take a deep breath and count to 10 before responding. This allows you to calm down and think more clearly about your response. In addition, try to avoid reacting immediately to emails or messages that upset you. Instead, step away from the situation for a little while and come back to it later with a clear mind. Number 4. Habit number 2. Practicing mindfulness. Another effective way to control your reaction is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the act of being present at the moment, focusing on your thoughts and emotions without judgment. This can help you to pause and reflect before reacting impulsively. One way to practice mindfulness is through meditation. Start by finding a quiet space where you can sit comfortably with your eyes closed. Take deep breaths and focus on your breathing, letting your thoughts come and go without engaging in them. If your mind starts to wander, simply bring your focus back to your breath. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily life can also be helpful. Take moments throughout the day to be present in the moment, noticing your thoughts and emotions without judging them. This can help you to recognize when you are starting to feel triggered and give you the space to pause before reacting. Practicing mindfulness can also help to reduce stress and anxiety, which can lead to better emotional regulation. By taking the time to care for your mental well-being, you can be more present and intentional in your reactions to difficult situations. Number 5. Habit number 3. Changing your perspective. Our reactions are often shaped by our perspective on a situation. If we approach a situation with a negative outlook, we are more likely to have a negative reaction. Changing your perspective can help you control your reactions and respond more positively. One way to change your perspective is to ask yourself questions that challenge your assumptions. For example, if you find yourself feeling angry or frustrated, ask yourself why you are feeling that way. Is there another explanation for the situation that you may not have considered? Could you be misinterpreting the actions or words of the other person? Another way to change your perspective is to look for the silver lining in a difficult situation. Try to focus on the positive aspects of the situation, even if they seem small or insignificant. By reframing your perspective, you can reduce the intensity of your negative emotions and make it easier to control your reaction. Lastly, it can be helpful to practice gratitude and appreciation for the good things in your life. This can help you maintain a positive outlook and reduce the likelihood of reacting negatively when faced with a difficult situation. Number 6. Habit number 4. Using positive self-talk. Our internal dialogue can greatly impact how we react to situations. If we constantly criticize and belittle ourselves, it can be difficult to respond calmly and effectively when something doesn't go as planned. However, if we practice positive self-talk, we can boost our confidence and ability to manage our reactions. Positive self-talk involves replacing negative or self-defeating thoughts with encouraging and affirming statements. For example, instead of thinking, "I always mess things up," try saying to yourself, "I'm capable and I can handle this situation." It may feel strange at first, but over time, positive self-talk can become a powerful habit. One helpful tip is to imagine that you're talking to a close friend who is struggling with the same situation. How would you encourage them and build them up? Use those same words and phrases to lift yourself up. It's important to note that positive self-talk isn't just about blindly ignoring negative situations or experiences. It's about acknowledging them and finding ways to frame them in a more constructive and supportive manner. This can help you stay grounded and focused on solutions rather than getting lost in negative emotions. Number 7. Habit number 5. Setting boundaries. One important habit to develop in mastering self-control is to set boundaries. Boundaries can help you manage your reactions and emotions healthily and productively. When you set boundaries, you are essentially telling yourself and others what you are willing and not willing to tolerate. This can prevent you from getting overwhelmed, stressed, or reactive in situations where your boundaries are being crossed. Setting boundaries can be challenging, especially if you're used to letting people walk all over you. But by establishing boundaries, you're permitting yourself to take control of your life and your reactions. You're also setting a standard for how you expect to be treated. So how do you set boundaries? First, you need to identify your own limits and what makes you uncomfortable. Once you have a clear idea of what your boundaries are, communicate them assertively to others. This may mean saying no to things you don't want to do, asking for help when you need it, or speaking up when someone is crossing your boundaries. It's important to note that setting boundaries doesn't mean being mean or rude to others. Rather, it's about respecting yourself and others enough to establish healthy relationships and interactions. Number 8. Habit number 6. Developing empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. When we develop empathy, we can see things from someone else's perspective, and this can greatly influence how we react to different situations. For example, let's say a coworker is constantly late for meetings. Your initial reaction might be frustration or annoyance. However, if you take a step back and try to understand why your coworker is always late, you might discover that they have a sick child at home who needs extra care in the morning. Suddenly, your perspective shifts and reaction changes from irritation to compassion. Developing empathy takes practice, but there are a few things you can do to help cultivate this important habit. First, make an effort to really listen to people when they're talking to you. Don't just hear their words, but try to understand the emotion behind what they're saying. This means paying attention to their tone of voice, body language, and facial expressions. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this.